Okay. Let's move on to question number 5. It says, hey, Katie, I have a question about trauma and false memories. I'm currently in therapy and we're working on the inner critic voice using IFS, that stands for Internal Family Systems. While I was doing my therapy homework alone, I had a memory of some verbal abuse that happened when I was young. I felt like I was sort of trapped in the memory for close to an hour. Ooh. My brain didn't want me out of the thought. It was telling me there's more here. Interesting. Once my husband came home and helped me ground myself, I couldn't help telling myself that this was probably a false memory, just trying to make reason out of my thoughts and feelings. Why would we jump to that's a false memory? It says, since I have very few memories until high school, that's a big indicator. We'll talk about this. How do I know when or if something is a false memory when my mind gets a flash look at something from the past? I don't want to gaslight myself, but I don't want to believe something that really didn't happen either. It feels so confusing. Thanks, Katie. Of course. Okay, a lot to unpack here. Now, first of all, our brains don't make up memories like this in this situation. You got pulled into something, like you had this memory of a verbal abuse that happened and you essentially kind of got stuck there, I would assume because you dissociated and you went into freeze. So that's why your husband could kind of help bring you back. I guess my question for you is, why would your brain just make something up out of the blue? Maybe because you're doing therapy homework. Maybe because you're actually thinking about it. It's not making it up. It's remembering. The thing about repressed memories and our ability to recall them and when they pop up or like when they all of a sudden show themselves, there was a study, God, it was done, I don't know. It's in Bessel van der Kolk's Body Keeps the Score. I'm forgetting the date of the study. I want to say like the 60s, like a long time ago, but maybe it was more recent. Anyways, they checked with people who had repressed memories of a trauma in a situation, and the majority, I want to say it was something like 92%, some crazy percentage, recalled them just as they happened. Like, you can trust repressed memories was the message. That even if we, in the moment, we like freak out and we don't have any recollection for like 10 years, when they are recalled, they are correct. Now, we might not have all the details and all of the little like nuances or color for the full memory, but what we do recall is correct, is what they found. I should dig up that study, but read Body Keeps the Score. It's an amazing book. But anyway, there's no reason for a brain to make up something. When we lie or when we fabricate a story, we do it consciously. This was unconscious. Your brain just remembered something. It brought it up and it's telling you there's more here. Having that, even that feeling, like it's telling me there's more here, means that this could be something that we might want to, spend more time in or be a detective about it, or at least tell our therapist about it so we can be curious, not judgmental about what is there. Maybe we see if we can take ourselves back if it's not too painful or too overwhelming and see what we find. We have to kind of, poke around because your brain was legitimately telling you there's more to find out. There's more that happened. And the fact that you didn't, now moving on to the fact that you said you didn't have any memories until around high school, that's a huge indicator, red flag for me. Like, boop, something's here. Something traumatic happened. That's why I have no memory. I probably dissociated off and on for most of my childhood. And that's why in high school, boop, you came back up for air. And you looked around, you're like, wow, you remembered things. You'd been, I think, my hypothesis when I hear anybody say like, oh, I don't remember anything from ages, and it's this huge swath of time, I'm always like, ooh, trauma. That's what that red flag is trauma. When we don't have memory for these huge swaths of time, it's likely that we were traumatized. Remember, traumas come in all shapes and forms. It could be we moved a lot because we were like a Navy brat or an Army kid, or maybe it was because we were bullied, or maybe we were physically, sexually, or verbally abused. Maybe we were emotionally neglected. Maybe we had a bad teacher or coach or whatever. It could be a zillion different reasons. But when we don't have memory of a huge chunk of time, that's a big indicator to me that there's a trauma there. And so the fact that these thoughts and these kind of memories are popping up, I'm not surprised. I really encourage you to talk to your therapist about it and keep working through it little by little. There's no rush. And if it's really uncomfortable for you to feel like trapped in it or to go back to it, let your therapist know. And we need to have more grounding techniques and more things to do. It's good. Maybe do things when your husband's home so he can help bring you out. All of that could really help you be curious, not judgmental about this as we learn more about what happened before high school. Yeah. You're not gaslighting yourself. It really happened and your brain is trying to tell you that there's more there. Listen to it.